Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastically well. It is Connor here, and we are back with the latest edition of the Rumour Mill. Hope you got your coffee, your tea, your wine, wherever you are on this beautiful place that we call planet Earth. And listen, we've got some talking points this morning, some quite sad talking points, but some prosperous talking points. Listen, it's the beginning of the transfer window today, the 9th of June. The Euros start on the 11th, just round the corner. England are playing, and some exciting times coming up, guys. So if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, commenting whatever you want, let me know on the rumours, let me know on the discussion points, as we say every single morning. And of course, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you are new. Some quite sad news this morning on the mill with regards to Diego Llorente. What a season he's had. An incredible start to life at Ellen Road. Obviously, he started with the game really against Chelsea that we saw, and he was getting all the woos from the Chelsea fans, which is always interesting. Didn't have the best start, in my opinion, in that game. You know, he was sort of thrusted into it, wasn't he, when Robin Koch was taken off injured, and it was his first game. Was he fully fit? I don't think so. But since then, he's been absolutely fundamental. He's been absolutely phenomenal. He's been concrete. He's been exquisite. He's been composed, calm, whatever superlative you want to use. He's been just fabulous for Leeds United. What did he do? Worked hard, kept going, got himself in the Spanish squad, which is an amazing achievement ahead of the likes of the Spanish legend that is Sergio Ramos. We're all really excited to see him. And unfortunately, with the COVID outbreak in the Spanish squad, he has been omitted from the squad. He was sent home, last night. He's the second Spanish player to test positive for COVID-19. And it looks like Diego Llorente is going to miss out on the Euros, which is such a shame. I wouldn't go as far as saying devastating, but it'll be devastating. Listen, it'll be devastating for him, of course it will, but you know, I can't obviously relate to that, but I'm so heartbroken for him. It's been such a phenomenal season, and him working his way in to that setup, that world-class setup, who have a genuine chance of winning the Euros again. Yeah, gutted for him, but hopefully he's going to make a full recovery. Now, Kvaratskhelia has been talking again, the Georgian winger. Now, it's not only his agent, it's not only his agency, it's not only the local journalists now, guys. It's actually Kvaratskhelia himself. He's come out on Georgian TV yesterday, Sportal, and said that negotiations are underway with many clubs. Listen, we've heard on the mill that it's AC Milan. We've heard on the mill that it's Inter Milan, Juventus, all these big clubs who are in for his signature, but Leeds are in there as well. We are already in a decisive phase of negotiations, and negotiations with Leeds United are conducted and may resume. So, cheers, by the way. Make of that what you will. It's positive to know that we're still in discussions with him. You never hear anything regarding what's going on really via the club, do you? Obviously, because you know they'll have a long list. They've got a short list of players. And listen, there's going to be a likelihood of Leeds getting certain players, a likelihood of Leeds not getting certain players, and that will be replicated on the short and long list. So, if Leeds have already been in contact, I don't really understand why he would come out and lie about that, especially if it is just Kvaratskhelia coming out and talking on Georgian TV. It's not his agent. But we do know, guys, and this is really key to note with the rumour mill. This is really key to note in general with Leeds United. Leeds are always used as a stick, aren't they? We've always been used as a stick. Listen, there was genuine understanding that Leeds were never in contact with Rodrigo de Paul, and that was all pushed by his agent. There is a genuine discussion there. So what Kvaratskhelia is doing now is there is a massive publication. There's massive worldwide support for Leeds United. So is he just jumping on that bandwagon of using us as that yardstick? Alternatively, this could be a genuine rumour. You know, we know Leeds United are interested in wingers. He fits the profile. He's versatile. He's 20. He's young. He's fast. He's very good on the ball. Technically gifted. We are looking at another winger, allegedly. So he would fit the profile very, very nicely. But yeah, that's something to definitely keep an eye on, as we always talk about with Kvaratskhelia. Now, The handball rule has effectively been changed. There's been a few modifications to it, which has just come out yesterday. Law 12 came into effect with every touch on the player's arm being deemed not an offence. So essentially what we saw last year at the start of last season was when Leeds played Liverpool. Anytime the ball hit the hand whatsoever, it was a penalty. You know, we lost, 2 penalties that game. Robin, on his debut, giving away one in particular, which is just a joke. It just hit his arm. His arm was like that. Ball hit his arm, bang, penalty. So that was sort of changed throughout the season. There was a bit of an understanding from the referees that there had to be a modification to that, but now there is an effective rule in place. Law 12, a player's hand/position should be judged in relation to their body movement in that body situation. So hopefully what we're going to see now is a little bit more realism when it comes to handball. Hopefully we're going to get some more clarification on offsides as well, because, I mean, they're just a complete joke, aren't they? What do we have? 3 or 4 goals ruled out, and every single goal, like, it wasn't even close. You know, you look at the Palace goal, the Wolves goal, they weren't even close. So I'm praying there's going to be a little bit of an adaptation to that rule, because that is the big one that needs adapting, the offside rule, because I don't even think the players understand it anymore. What is offside anymore? Let me know in the comment section below. Jean-Kevin Augustin. Developments came out yesterday. Obviously, Leeds United are in a legal battle with RB Leipzig at this moment in time for the £18 million resolution of his transfer. Were Leeds obligated to buy Jean-Kevin Augustin? Were they not? That is the whole premise of this legal battle. Now, something interesting came out yesterday in the ownership battle via FIFA and via Leipzig as well. Leipzig have essentially claimed that they've had a very, very positive response from FIFA in the first instance of this case, which obviously doesn't read pretty for Leeds United. We did learn last season that whatever the outcome of this deal, of whatever happens with this monetary changing of clubs, that is not going to affect the transfer budget. This is not going to affect what Leeds are going to do in the market, which is really positive, and we're hoping, touch wood, that is how Leeds progress forward, because there might be a resolution here where Leeds United are having to fork out some serious dough. So what I do think Leeds are going to do is, whatever the outcome, they're going to appeal it. The appeal process can go on for around about 2 years. So obviously the club have got to prepare for that. You know, money for lawyers, money for everything else in the legal process. But obviously they've still got to have that money and put that money aside for the resolution that may happen. You know, Leeds may have to pay that 18 million quid, which is going to be a massive blow. Say 18 million is a huge amount of money, isn't it, for any club? And I think Leeds United are going to, if they do get hammered with that blow, they're going to feel a massive effect there. But Leeds haven't come out and said anything, which normally you do get a club statement. You will get a little bit of, maybe the local journalists around the area get a little bit of drip-fed information about exactly what has happened, but it doesn't look like Leeds have said anything about the matter, whereas Leipzig have come out and said they've had a positive first instance. So whether or not you deem that as a good thing from Leeds in the fact that Leeds do know and they're not letting people know, or the fact that nothing's happened at all. Nothing's happened at all, and this is just Leipzig blowing smoke, really, and with nothing there, with no foundation there. Now, listen, guys, like I was saying earlier on, the window opens today, doesn't it? Interesting news with Matheus Pereira. It looks like Brighton, Southampton and Norwich have sort of declared themselves out of the race in terms of actually going for Matheus Pereira, which is very interesting. Is he someone who you guys would look for? Get it in the comment section below. Someone who you would want. It looks like West Brom have put a £15 million pound price tag on his head. I think it's going to be like eBay when you list something for 99p and then it goes up to 200 quid. I don't think there's going to be that vast surge, but what I do think is there's going to be a massive increase, a bit of a bidding war for someone like Pereira. You could see it going up to 30 million. Would you go for someone like Matheus Pereira? As I've said before, the Buendia, the Benrahma, those English-based players, Leeds don't normally go for. That's not normally what we do. It's normally the continent buy, the value for quality, the value for money. So let me know in the comment section below, would you go in for Matheus Pereira? It looks like it's going to be between Leeds and Villa and West Ham, so we're going to be up against strong competition again. I don't really get why Villa would go for him. Now they've got Emi Buendia. Obviously, you've got Jack Grealish there. You've got El Ghazi who can play central as well. I don't understand why they would go for him, so I do think that rules them out a little bit, unless Villa are just trying to buy everyone and really get some depth in that area. But I don't think they're going to get another playmaker, so I think it's going to be between sort of Leeds, West Ham, and maybe a couple of European clubs if we are in fact going to go for Matthias Pereira. Let me know in the comment section below. And listen, who would you go for? Let me know. I'm really interested the positions you go for. We spoke about it yesterday. Who would you go for? Looks like Alioski wants to stay at the club. That looks like it's... I fully believe if Alioski was leaving the club, he'd have left the club by now. You look at your Berardis, you look at your Pablo Hernandez, you look at your Ollie Casey's who's making roads out of the club now to Blackpool. But I fully believe that there'd be a situation with a player of Alioski's quality, he'd be leaving the club. So what would you do? Would you bring in a fully fledged world-class left-back? Is that what you would do? Or would you just essentially bring in a secondary player for Ezcan Alioski? Is that what you would do? Is there any point in doing that? We've all been talking about left backs for the whole season. Is there a point in bringing one in? I still believe there is. I still believe we need a starting world-class left back for me. Midfield's a different story. Would you bring in a defensive midfielder? If you are going to bring in a defensive midfielder, who on earth comes in and will replace Calvin Phillips with Calvin Phillips' quality? Or is that just going to be used as Diego Llorente, Robin Cott, maybe the return at some point of Adam Forshaw? Obviously, we've got Jack Harrison who signs on the 1st of July, which is great news. But let me know, guys. I want to know your transfer targets. I want to know your transfer positions. This is a community. This is interactive. Let me know what you think on the discussion points this morning, guys. Have a lovely day, and I will see you in a bit. Cheers.